Hello and welcome to another Cliff Reviews Art House. This time I'm reviewing the film Train Dreams, directed by Clint Bentley. This film has received pretty good reviews and it does have qualities that are easy to admire. It is meditative, it's rooted in landscape, and it aspires to an epic quality by following its protagonist across several decades. It wants to say something about time, about loss, and the quiet passage of a life. Having recently had a series of Kelly Reichardt films, however, all reviewed on the channel, it was impossible not to compare Train Dreams with her work. It inevitably invites comparison with the Reichardt films such as Old Joy and First Cow. And when you make this comparison, Train Dreams falls well short. It's missing that quiet magic that is in Reichardt's films. Her work finds meaning in small gestures and unspoken relationships. Here, that same sense of intimacy never quite arrives. For me, the story felt a bit disjointed. It meanders rather than unfolds. Although the narrative is simple, even quite stark, it lacked coherence. Our protagonist does meet intriguing people, and at moments the film seems to be finding a rhythm, but then the connections remain partial. Scenes almost work, but rarely accumulate into something larger. The construction is actually oddly neat. There are a few real surprises, and the shape of the story feels a bit over-managed rather than discovered. I think this film wanted me to feel that it was organic and rooted in a lived experience, but it just didn't do that for me. Perhaps it's really unfair to make the comparison so strongly with Kelly Reichardt, but I just couldn't help it, having watched so much of her work. And it does show that what we watch before watching a film definitely influences what we think of it. Another film I was reminded of was A Ghost Story, directed by David Lowery. Both these films deal with love, loss, the passage of time, and the persistence of absence. But again, this film doesn't operate in the same league as A Ghost Story. Whereas A Ghost Story commits fully to its conceit and emotional risk, this film feels less coherent and perhaps more cautious. The voiceover is perhaps the clearest example of that caution. I think we're supposed to feel that the narrator is a distant, reflective storyteller, an external voice carrying this life to us like an oral history. But it feels unnecessary and inert. We don't really know who the narrator is or why they're telling us this story. There's no strong emotional or narrative link between the voice and the life on the screen. As a result, it feels like it functions as a meaningless device, explaining rather than deepening, smoothing over gaps rather than allowing silence to do the work. In the end, the film does have a certain meditative quality to it, but not quite a soul. It gestures towards profundity without ever fully earning it. There are much worse films than this, but I can't particularly recommend it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.